So today we will discuss about uh, how to write the microservice. Okay, so in that microservice, we will write some small sample API, and how do you call that sample API in Web API Gateway? Okay, so before that, you should know the port numbers of common API, API Gateway, microservice. So we have created one API template for common API, which will have connection parameters for MongoDB and MySQL. That port number is 4000. Okay, and Web API Gateway port number is 5000, which will have validation and calling that microservice. So calling the microservice we didn't discuss on yesterday. Okay, and why means today only we are going to write the microservice. So once this microservice is returned, then only we can able to call that microservice in Web API Gateway. So now I am going to create the template for a microservice. Port number is 6000. Okay, so here see this. So these are the API templates for this training. First of all, I am going to open common API. So npm start. Okay, and next Web API Gateway. Okay, next here microservice. Okay, I'm going to create one folder microservice, and here one more thing is in Web API Gateway, see department controller.ts. Okay, in this we will write API and we will call that in this method. So in this department controller.ts, we will write one API method. In that method, we will put validations. After that, all the validations are satisfied. Okay, then we will call the microservice. Okay, so in this, I am giving the microservice name, that is department microservice. Okay, suppose in later, if you create one more controller that is called EMP controller, I used to create EMP microservice. And further, if I create user controller.ts, I used to create user microservice. Okay, so here I am giving that microservice name DEPT micro service. Okay, and see here, first of all, see these steps. First, create the API template and write DB connection code and call the getConfig method from common API and create the API method for requirement and create the store procedure, call the store procedure in API. These are the steps. Okay, first create the API template. So here create source folder and go to the terminal, npm init app.ts and package.json will be created. Now npm I express, so node modules will be created. So meanwhile you can create app.ts here and import, yeah, so node modules and package log.json will be created, and see that in package.json express npm has been installed, and here express and constant app equal to express method, and constant port equal to 6000 for microservice, and app.listen, here give the port number and write the function console.log connected to port. Okay, and one more thing here, npm, not npm, tsc, so init, this is for creating tsconfig.json file. So this will be created, and source map becomes true, so make uncomment, and output directory also make uncomment, and write here dist. After that, no implicit any, so this change into false, and go to the package.json, here start and tsc TypeScript compiler and node dist slash app.js. Okay, so what is the purpose of this one means? So it will convert your TypeScript code into JavaScript code and execute that JavaScript code file. Okay. Next, now we will check up to this. So npm start. Okay, it is running fine. Now I am going to write some small API, okay, which is not belongs to MySQL or MongoDB. So test test service and request response. Okay, try res.send status code 400 and message here e.message. And let body equal to request.body. Okay, and once this service is called, then I am giving welcome to DEPT microservice. Okay, so this is the service. So here I want to call this service in Web API gateway. Okay, this is Web API gateway. So here I am going to write one method, test method, app1.post and test request response. Okay, so let body equal to request.body and so validation body dot department number. So use the try catch. this message is already available. Okay. So if body dot department number does not have any number, then I am giving department number is required. Else, okay, here I need to call this microservice. Okay, test service. So here one npm we will use, that is Axios. Okay, so await, here we need to use async. Okay, so Axios means it is a promise based HTTP client for the browser and Node.js. That means if you want to call one API, then we have to use Axios npm. Okay, so this is the purpose of Axios npm is to send asynchronous HTTP request to endpoint URLs so that we can perform CRUD type of operations. Okay, so Axios npm, so we need to install that npm I, and here write import from Axios and go to the package.json till it is installing. Okay, it has been installed. And see, here we need to use await. That means once we get the response from this microservice API method, then only we have to go to the next step. Okay, for that purpose only we will use await. Okay, so control will wait until it will get the response. Okay, so Axios dot, in this we can use any method. Okay, I am using post method, and so what will be this URL? Okay, you can check this. Localhost 6000 / test service. App.use express.json. See, so this API is working fine. Okay, and I am copying this URL and pasting Web API gateway. Okay, and body, I am sending request body. After that, use then async result. Okay. So if result, in this result variable, if anything is there, then it will go to if block. Then I am going to send result dot data. Okay, so in this array, so response will be stored in result. Okay, so this is array format. So here in this array, data object that will contain the response of test service. Okay, so I will show it in debugging also. Else res.send, you can no data available. Okay, so now, oh shit. So I'm executing Web API Gateway, and then I'm executing department microservice. Okay, so in what is the Web API Gateway URL? Localhost, I think this one, training department test. So app.ts training, and go to the here department, go to here test. Okay, so in this give the department number 10, and if I don't give department number key name, then department number is required kind of message will come. If I give department number 10, then unsupported protocol localhost. Okay, so here HTTP see, welcome to department microservice. Okay, so this one. So here this API will be called. So what this API will return? Welcome to department microservice. Okay, this kind of message returned by test service.